I'm already in the questioning category, and then
oh my God.
Yeah.
Bob Cesca
Well, you know,
spandex.
yesterday was Star Wars Day, and I posted a picture of myself with my baby Yoda.
I know, nerd.
Statue over here. And one of the first replies was, "Well, you're looking good, Bob, but you're not as big as Chris."
No,
I said, well, of course. Don't I know it? Oh my God! I said, Chris is ginormous. I got a lot of work to do.
You and your humility. He keeps saying, "Oh, I couldn't keep up with you on a bike." I'm like, "Look at you, you big slab of muscle." Yes, of course you could.
That's just it.
All right.
I'm completely inferior here. I couldn't keep up with Chris in the gym. I couldn't keep up with you on a bike.
That's not true.
Your legs are twice as long as hers, so you can cover more ground than her.
True. Yes.
All right.
But
Let's
not
move
nearly.
on. Let's move on to more sucking up to Bob Cesca, who, can I just say, Bob Cesca, one of the great interviewers in the business. The Mazie Hirono interview you have to listen to on the Bob Cesca Show. I mean, every Bob Cesca show is magic. I don't miss one. I do it while I'm biking. I won't be doing that today. But you are an amazing interviewer, and you guys speaking Hawaiian to each other was just magic.
Oh yeah, that was fun. She corrected my pronunciation. There were a few interesting things in that interview where she's the senator is feisty.
Yes. Well, she doesn't take any. She doesn't take any. Right, Sean?
Yeah.
Sean was
Well,
sleeping.
it's not like I was.
I can hardly stand it.
Yeah, she just called. I love that Jim Acosta called Fox News the Bolt Factory, and he said the whole word on CNN. It is the Bolt Factory. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's especially that way today. I noticed that they were running a lower third about the Facebook news that said something to the effect of Facebook bans Trump for life or something like that. And that is, of course, not the decision. Fox News, of course, got it wrong because they want to fluff and incite their audience.
In fact, Facebook was the advisory board was very specific and said that Facebook needs to revisit it in 6 months.
Absolutely.
And so that's an outright lie.
The problem is, that, Bob, if they let him back on, he'd be banned again in a second because he can't help himself. The first thing he'll do is the big lie.
Of course.
And incite violence again. It's just, it's so absurd. This is not free speech. This is fire in a crowded theater, right? I mean.
Yeah. There's no debate over this. There's no reason for an oversight board to even have to review this. The guy used his status and his platform to incite an attack on Congress, on the United States Congress, the Article 1 powers in this country. And so, of course, he should be banned for life. There's no, let's wait and see what happens. It's not like he's going around making amends for all of his mistakes and everything like that. And he's got a few more apologies that he needs to deliver. No. He's never going to change. So reviewing this with, the recommendation from the oversight board is they're going to look at this again within 6 months and offer up some recommendations in terms of policy changes and so on. And they were very clear in the second paragraph of the oversight board's recommendations here. They said it was not appropriate for Facebook to impose the indeterminate and standardless penalty of indefinite suspension. Facebook's normal penalties include removing the violating content, imposing a time-bound period of suspension, or permanently disabling the page and account. And so, of course, the notion that he's banned for life is nonsense. He's, there's always a chance that he's going to come back. But it's like,
and Bob,
introduce Ebola, some sort of horrible virus back into the bloodstream. No, you don't do that. The guy's toxic.
Thank you. And if we keep saying all week, Bob, I want to get your take, but this Arizona thing, which is the first thing he would start talking about on Facebook, is an ongoing insurrection. It's an extenuation of January. Some of the same people that went to the Capitol are behind this thing. This is an ongoing insurrection that they are trying to continue to overthrow democracy.
That's right. Right. And obviously, as we saw from that weird video of Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago the other day,
God.
which I thought
Lola from Copacabana?
December or so. The same. Yeah, I'm not even going to go there, but there's the same sort of thing that he's been saying for months and months and months, and he just can't let it go, of course, because that's the way he is. So it's weird that Facebook would go, maybe 6 months from now, he might be okay. No, it's not going to happen. But then
Bob,
he's still attached to it. He's still telling his people that the election was stolen and that it was a big lie. It's so and so on. It's just it's obscene.
I feel like you're not giving him the respect he is entitled to as the owner of a new blog, Bob.
Oh, everything old is new again, isn't it? I can't wait. I'm looking forward to clicking on the links in his blog roll. I can't wait to see that. I was see if Ariana Huffington has weighed in.
Darling, this is so cute. It's the most adorable little blog I've ever seen. This is just delightful. Bob, just like everything else, it like makes figures that he didn't invest any money. He didn't do any work. It's like the 4 miles of wall he built. It's like doo-doo-doo-doo. Fake butter commercial music. I'm in a new platform. I'm going to come up with my own. It's a blog. It's not like everyone can join in. No, and first of all, it's on his website, which now has become a grift. It's become a money-making fundraising thing. There's already a button on there pre-checked for you on the blog, right? So it's the site. Yep. Okay, so it's it allows one-way communication with Trump, which is there any other kind with Trump, which he posts words, images, or video, and then supporters can tweet them or post them. The like button doesn't work. Right. Barbara tweeted, it's like his own personal Twitter with absolutely no way of responding. Essentially, everyone is blocked. Helen tweeted, 45's new dollar store Twitter looks like it'll be more relentless policy attacks on Republicans. I mean, and here we go, Bob, with Liz Cheney is out this week because fat orange Elvis told Kevin McCarthy to, right? I mean, that's why. Yep. Absolutely. The Republican Party is just completely wrapping its arms around Trumpism, and that's the standard that they're going for. And Liz Cheney wasn't going to play that game, and so now they're muscling her, trying to coerce her. Notice they're not doing similar things to Mitt Romney. Well, Mitt Romney was just booed in Utah. That was about the worst that he got. Yeah. But Liz Cheney, it's all about a woman having bigger balls than they do, and then making them look stupid. That's just it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the difference. That's the big difference between Mitt Romney and Liz Cheney is the existence of boobs. And so that is what's and by that we mean the rest of the Republican caucus. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. CNN
I was just laying there.
CNN reported, I'm hearing it's over. The vote will happen next week and they will vote her out. And they said CNN said McCarthy and the GOP have once again caved to Donald Trump. I mean, it's so pathetic, Bob. Particularly in the light of the Bill Barr news and all of this Giuliani stuff, like you can see the legal train coming a mile away. You're like, wow, you are really going to be on the wrong side of this and on the wrong side of history, right? Right. I mean, all things being equal, with all of this news, the story should be, the major banner headline should be Republican Party disintegrating, right? Yeah. But it's not. That's not the headline because they've got this advantage of having a bubble in which everyone within the bubble will believe anything they tell them. So there's at least a significant portion of the American political debate that is guided by lies and nonsense. And we've seen it. We've seen it over and over again, from Mr. Potato Head to a ban on meat and all the nonsense. And of course, as soon as they pump that into the bloodstream of their bubble, nothing else. First of all, nothing else breaks through that surface tension. So there's no debunking it. There's no, counterattacking it. It just completely ricochets around the entire bubble, and it doesn't matter if it's true or not. In fact, it's even better if it's untrue. Yeah, because that's juicier for them. Yeah. Did you say who was that guy that just was on the Trumper that was on Newsmax? Travis, who's the guy? He put up the giant Trump flag that he was penalized for, and so they had him on, and he said that Trump is actually president now, and JFK Jr. is actually his vice president now. It was a Trump JFK flag, and Bob, can you explain that part of the QAnon thing? Isn't Kennedy from A, dead, but that's not important now. B, part of somewhat less importantly, isn't he part of one of the biggest liberal family iconic liberal families? How did that get thrown in that JFK Jr. is what? Yeah, it was the Watkins guys who run 8chan. They got some bad Thai food or something like that. Sure. And
They were suffering from food poisoning,
Uh-huh.
and that's where the JFK thing came from, because it's all made up. It was all like a fever dream. That's what they do. They just sit around in the Philippines and they come up with new lies to post on HN, and they call it Q. And then all the worst part about it, though, is the multitude of adherents who believe everything these two charlatans say. And well, that's a whole different story. But yeah, it's
like
certainly indicative of the broader Republican Party right now.
right. Newsmax had him on like it was a like a serious interview. He said, "My guest is a Minnesota business owner who refused to take down a massive Trump 2020 flag that violated his city's ordinance, and it has Trump JFK Jr. on it. He said Trump to me is the Lone Ranger, and the Lone Ranger needs a guy by his side, and that is JFK." So it's like weekend at JFK Jr.'s, or I don't. Okay, but anyway,
But he's Tonto?
Yeah.
Well,
so
take him water skiing.
can I? Thank you. Don't forget to dub.
I'm looking forward to
the
how
Bill
Sparks,
and Melinda Bill and Melinda Gates thing. Can I just real quick while we're on QAnon, Bob?
Sure.
Because you're better at this interweb stuff than I am.
This is a
So
good one.
Bill and Melinda Gates divorcing after 27 years. Those crazy kids can't make it work.
Yeah.
no, I know.
Okay, but so QAnon, of course. Okay, they pushed the story that obviously, as we know, Bill Gates put tiny microchips in all the vaccines to track us. I think we all know that part, right, Chris? That's okay.
Yeah.
But they're suggesting Melinda Gates is actually a clone, and another rumor is that she's leaving him to be with Anthony Fauci. The QAnon take on them splitting up is that she's already been replaced by a male clone. It's a strategy to protect his money after he's arrested, or she's leaving him for Dr. Fauci. Have you heard all that, Bob?
Oh yeah, it's completely believable.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm totally buying into it.
Okay.
It is just it's all at once funny and completely distressing at the same time to know that there are just so many suckers who are buying into it. And you know, the great irony is a lot of these suckers are sitting around the kitchen table going, you know, those liberals, they're such suckers. They don't know anything. They don't like logic. They don't like facts. What's wrong with them? And meanwhile, they're spreading nonsense like that.
But even
JFK,
on policy, Bob, you commented this on Twitter that it just, I saw this, what's his name? Senator Cassidy interviewed. Aaron Rupar said Wallace presents Cassidy with receipts showing that the Trump tax cuts he supported disproportionately benefited the rich and increased the deficit by $1.5 trillion. Cassidy responds by talking about how low unemployment rates were pre-COVID. And you just said the Republican platform, whatever Trump says, just even on policy, it just makes no sense. He didn't even answer the question, right?
That's another reason why they didn't renew the Republican platform during the 2020 convention, because it's just, well, whatever Trump says, that's going to be our platform now. And that what could possibly go wrong with that? The guy who incited, an insurrection against Congress. That's the guy we're going to go with. The guy from The Apprentice. The Republican Party is just an absolute mess, and they don't stand for anything except the opposite of whatever liberals are saying. Yeah, and that's the driving force. And that's what Donald Trump. That's how Donald Trump comes up with all of his ideas. Oh, what are the Democrats saying? Are those people Trump or Hillary? That was the question he used to ask when he was president. You know, are you Trump or Hillary? He would, when he was interviewing someone for a job. Yeah. He would. And so for him, it's very distinct. There are two categories. And if it's Hillary, which is the Democrats and the left and the radical left Democrats, as he calls them, then they're the enemy. And we have to say the opposit of whatever that is. But in that regard, it's very easy to do the switcheroo, do the Bugs Bunny, rabbit season, duck season thing. So.
I feel like Liz Cheney's the only really smart, really evil lemming that's like, I'm just telling you, you're not going to, keep going. All right, Liz Cheney is Tom Hanks in what's the movie where he crashes and he's the only one survives on an island. She's going to talk to a volleyball. She's going to talk to a volleyball. That'll be a running mate. Yeah. Her running mate will be a volleyball. That'll be for a few years, and then they'll rebuild. Okay. Yeah, it's really distressing to have to defend Liz Cheney. Isn't it? I just want to throw that out there. Yeah, because she's wrong on everything else. Right. It's just it's so challenging to share the trenches with people like Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney and some of these others.
And but look, ultimately, this is less about issues these days and more about making sure the fascist idiocrats don't regain power. And I'm afraid they're going to at some point soon.
That is the best word, idiocrats, because I love how you trolled Trump Jr. on Twitter. He's of the visit to the Carters. He's like, "Where's Joe's mask? Where's the media screaming about CDC guidelines? He's indoors with elderly people," and you're like. They've all been vaccinated, you big dope. You big dope. Yeah. Instead of recording a guy's video today, try reading something. Start with the CDC guideline for vaccinated people. I mean, they're just, it's like they're all 8. They're like, where's Joe's mask? How come he's flying on a plane?
Yeah. And of course, the Carters, as soon as that picture was taken, I'm sure the Carters put their masks back on and went back to their home inside a tiny thimble.
Yeah.
What is it with that picture? Holy cow.
I love that picture so much.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's how you look next to everybody in pictures, Bob. Like some super soldier.
Exactly right. Someone took a picture of me standing next to Ches when Ches was still around, and it was the same effect. It was just like Ches looked teeny tiny, like he could fit in my pocket. I could feed him one tiny little M&M once a day or something like that.
I think ABC News, they showed a photo this morning of then Senator Biden with then President Carter. And Biden was only, just a little bit taller than Carter. It was a total optical illusion, this last photo.
But it was hilarious.
Yeah. Very, very funny one, though.
It's like a Jolly Green Giant commercial.
Carter. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The Carter should start a pumpkin farm in Oregon, isn't there? I think Chris knows what I'm talking about. I think Chris gets the reference. Okay, good. It's a reality show on TLC.
I don't know. Just everything about you is delightful. This is the hour or so when I stop talking to you live and then I start listening to you on the bike. So goodbye for an hour.
Oh.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Bob Cesca Show. It's essential.
Yep.
It's Sexy Liberal Podcast Network. Love you, Bob.
Thank you so much. Love you too.
Thank you, Bob.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Bob.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.